excited you are here. If you are here, in fact, it means you already heard about the Smartsafedetox program. I'm Mihaela, the owner of Healing with Foods and the author of Make Peace with Fat, and I'm here to explain a little bit about detoxification and primarily about the Smartsafedetox program, which you may or may not be a great candidate for it. So detoxification is a very normal, natural process that takes place in our body, in pretty much all cells of our body, but the headquarters of detoxification is nevertheless the liver. The Smartsafedetox program is a 10-day actual detoxification program with a 7-day preparation phase intended to use food and lifestyle with minimal supplements as the main ingredients to support our natural body's ability to detoxify. You probably may be wondering, am I toxic? Do I really need to detoxify? Doesn't my body do it all the time? For more information about this, you're welcome to go and visit my Facebook page, where I'm doing a series, and I've been doing a series of videos explaining all those foundational things. If you already know you are toxic and you can feel lack of energy, maybe thyroid and other hormonal imbalances, blood sugar imbalances, cancer, or may have been diagnosed with cancer or is running in your family. I mean, really, pretty much every chronic condition out there has at its root cause an accumulation of toxins that cause havoc in the body. So if you already know you would benefit from a detox program, I'm inviting you now to pay attention to what the Smartsafedetox program offers and how it's different from other programs you may have already tried or you were thinking of trying. So to properly detoxify our body, first of all, we want to start here with step 1, which is reduce or stop environmental exposure. Nevertheless, we are exposed to so many toxic chemicals today, more than ever before, due to our modern industrialized way of living. So we can look at our air. Do we live in big cities or near industry, or near big confined operating animal race farming? Air pollution is nevertheless a fact, right? Can we change that? Absolutely. There are aspects that we can change in our environment, and investing, for instance, in an air purifier is a great idea, right? Then, our water supplies. Our water is toxic. It's loaded with hormones, with antibiotics, chlorine, fluoride, you name it. Every chemical possible known to human, and drugs and viruses and microbes are found in our water supply. So we have to look at our water. Can we change that? Yes, there are filters out there that we can invest in and begin to purify the water we drink and we take our baths in and we wash our clothes with. Food, nevertheless, the food we eat today is nothing like our ancestors' food was, right? So we use synthetic fertilizers, we use pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, genetically modified, etc., etc., etc. So when I talk about environmental exposure, of course I start with these 3 fundamentals. We cannot live without breathing, without drinking water, and without eating. We can go for some extended periods of time without food, but nevertheless, these are fundamentals. We have to get this as clean, free of toxins and contaminants as possible. Then we look at what else we could be exposed to toxins from our environment. Cookware, Teflon-like, aluminum, and other plastics and other materials that are leaching chemicals into the food we consume. How about the cosmetics and the personal beauty care products? Our skin is the largest organ of the body. What we put on our skin gets filtered into our bloodstream, and often it's actually bypassing the headquarters of our filtration, which is the liver. Some things may be filtered out, some not, and they will accumulate in our body. And we know that many of the chemicals that are found in our cosmetics and personal care products are actually carcinogenic, cancer-inducing. Our cleaning products, same idea. Some are release vapors that are toxic, some are that are left on the floor, on our dishes, and so on, and we absorb them into our body. Our housing, we look at the paints, we look at flame retardants in our couches and furniture, and the flooring, and etc., etc. And then we have natural toxins from the environment, like the spores from mold, right, or other microorganisms that our body gets exposed to, and the toxins that are coming from them. So a comprehensive detoxification program will always start by encouraging you to limit or reduce as much as possible the environmental toxic exposure. Once we have that under control, or as we work on that, then we have to look at the next step that's important when it comes to supporting our body's ability to get rid of accumulated toxins. That's what detoxification really is, what we already stored in our body. And we can look at our inner production or generation of toxins. So for instance, dysbiosis and imbalanced gut flora, when you have more of the pathogenic microorganisms inhabiting your gut, more toxins are released from the gut into the bloodstream. So you have like a mini factory of toxins. So you may be reducing what comes from the outside, but how about what comes from the inside? Leaky gut, when you begin to absorb free flow from the gut into the bloodstream of all sorts of things that come through the mouth. Usually, including foods that start to become toxic because they trigger immune responses, because they are absorbed in a non-digestible or not a fully digested form, so the immune system does not recognize those are food. So that's leaky gut, right? And then, let's see what that, are we generated too much oxidation through our lifestyle? Maybe, again, smoking will cause more oxidation. Eating too much leads to more reactive oxygen spilling, more oxidative damage just by burning the fuel. Those are a few examples. So we want to reduce what comes into our body. We want to reduce what is produced by our body if the health is not especially gut health is not optimal. That's why we always talk about heal the gut to heal the body. So this can go in parallel, or sometimes if the gut health is really, really compromised, we want to address the state of the gut health before we give a boost to our natural detoxification pathways. That's something that we do as part of the GAPS nutritional protocol, as a matter of fact. We never start with the detoxification. We build the body first so it can deal with the toxins that are then later on released. And finally, the actual detoxification means supporting our body's natural ability to remove the toxins that have been stored in our body over time. So toxins are of different nature, chemically speaking. Some are heavy metals, some are water soluble, some are volatile, some are fat soluble. So depending on their nature, some may come with like volatile compounds or water soluble toxins, and our body will be able to just pee them out or poop them out rapidly, and they will not store inside our body. But heavy metals like mercury and lead, as well as pollutant organic compounds, POPs, I think that, POPs, pollutant organic, POPs. I'm not getting this one right. Anyway, these are fat-soluble toxins, like PCBs and CBs, oh my gosh, PVCs and all those organic chemicals, if you remember from organic chemistry. Petroleum-based, plastic-based, all those, they tend to accumulate in our body. Where do they accumulate? Where do they like to gravitate? Inside our fat cells, whether it's subcutaneous fat or intra-abdominal fat. And often, for instance, inability to lose weight or an accelerated weight gain could be induced by exposure to toxins that the body needs to remove. It doesn't have the capacity to eliminate them from the body, therefore it will store them inside our fat cells to protect us from being harmed by those toxins. So toxins are also stored in our bones, in heart tissues, in organs, brain, kidney, liver. And then once they are in our body, they are not harmless. They will corrode the health of every cell where they are stored. So it's safer for them to be stored in the cells in a way because they work on our health on a slower rate. However, they cause damage. They affect the immune function, they can affect the genetic expression, like the epigenetics. They will affect the metabolic rate. They can affect the way our gut flora changes. Of course, they can have carcinogenic effect. They can interfere with the way our glands, our hormones are produced or how they can attach to the receptors. So the detoxification program or a detoxification program will aim to support the release of the toxins from the stores where they were stored in our body, and the biotransformation of those toxins from a toxic fat soluble compound into a non-toxic water soluble compound, and then eliminate it from the body. So here on my drawing board, you can see I have this that says biotransformation. That's the actual medical term for what we know as detoxification. So this is hard to see, but it says storage. So we want to mobilize the fat toxins from the storage, bring them inside the cells that are responsible for this detoxification, this biotransformation, whether it's a liver cell, a kidney cell, a skin cell, an intestinal cell. But as an example, we'll just stick with the liver for now. And then we want to make sure we have the nutrients that will facilitate the entrance of those fat-soluble toxins inside the detoxifying cell, and that's phase 0 of biotransformation. Then once inside the cell, we want to support the chemical reactions that take place in here to convert the fat-soluble toxic compound, first phase, into a intermediary metabolite, which is often much more toxic than the original toxin. And these chemical reactions here involve oxygen and hydrogen and a series of vitamins and minerals. More details, of course, will be inside the course. Once you join the program, I will do more education on the topic because I want you to understand how the body gets rid of toxins, so you understand why you would eat certain foods and you would take certain supplements and you would do certain lifestyle interventions to support this process. And then this phase 2, the intermediary metabolite has to be converted into a water soluble, safe to eliminate from the body. And this is a very slow, this involves slower chemical reactions that involve conjugation. It's binding. It's almost like you have to add them to this intermediary metabolite to glue a transporter. It's not quite like that, but just for you to understand. So those reactions require certain amino acids. They are complicated. They take a long time, and this is where most programs are actually failing us. Most programs that are out on the market, because they don't provide through the juicing or through the water cleanse or through the whatever cleanse is out there, they don't provide the nutrients to support this phase 2. And then if that is not supported, and here, like I said, we need amino acids, glucuronic acid, sulfur-containing amino acids, metal-containing amino acids. So if this doesn't happen, then we are left with very toxic intermediary metabolites that get back into the systemic circulation, and they will cause more damage to our body than if we left the toxins to be there in the storage. So the Safe Smart Detox program is actually focusing on supporting not only phase 0-1, well, all the way from mobilization to phase 0-1, but 2, by providing those amino acids from food. So it's a rather high protein intake for 6 days to support phase 2 detoxification. And then we want to support phase 3, which means now we have these non-toxic water soluble chemicals, but if we let them go back into the system, the body has the enzymes to put them right back into toxic state, fat soluble. Therefore, we want to support phase 3 of detoxification. It's the excretion from the detoxifying cell or organ out of the body, and that happens through it can happen through sweating, right? Tears, of course you don't want to cry, and saliva, you don't want to spit and cry, right? That would be very ineffective way. So we want to encourage lifestyle modifications that induce sweating. We want to make sure we poop, so we talk about the daily poop, right? We want to make sure we also urinate, so plenty of fluid. So that's the biotransformation phase. That's the most important part of the food and a well-designed, well-formulated detoxification program. This happens naturally in our body, but if we don't have the nutrients to support that, then we're left with the toxins inside us, and if more toxins are coming into our system, then this process can take place. Again, we store them more than we eliminate them, and the programs that are out there may be providing you with nutrients for phase 1, but most likely are lacking on phase 2 nutrients. Now, the Smart Safe Detox program begins with an assessment. That's the first 7 days of the program. We are assessing to see what are we exposed from the outside, is there any toxin coming from the inside, and then we have a score. We grade our toxicity level, and of course we would reassess at the end of the program to see if it's effective what we've just done, if we had any reduction in exposure as well as in toxins, in symptoms that would be the result of those toxins. Then we begin to work on step 1 and 2. I provide resources for you to go and get, if you don't have an air purifier, water filter, change the kitchen tools to safe, non-toxic, resources for, of course, organic and non-GMO food. So a lot of education and resources in this area, as well as personal and beauty care products, cleaning, etc., etc. So you would begin in the first 7 days to work on those 2. If we have severe leaky gut dysbiosis, that has to be addressed first. So if that's the case, you would have to work on healing the gut and rebalancing the gut flora, reducing oxidative damage before you would actually want to do a detox, like the actual biotransformation. Then, after the first 7 days, when we take care of steps 1 and 2 and we assess, we jump into the actual detoxification program, which first we want to support the mobilization of the toxins from the storage, and of course we do that through dietary intervention that supports fat burning. So to mobilize the fats, the toxins from the fat stores, we have to burn the fat. We have to induce or create an environment that's supportive of lipolysis. Lipolysis means burning fat. Lipase fat, lysis is cutting or burning it. So we are going to do a level of calorie restriction, which initiates our own fat burning, combined with, of course, reduction of well, it has to be severely carbohydrate restricted as well, and we'll add other lifestyle factors that induce fat burning, such as exercise. So if you're doing a detox program right now, or if you've done one in the past, or you're contemplating taking a detox program out there and you're doing your homework and see what's out there, if the program that you're taking does not restrict the amount of food you eat, the window of time you can eat, and does not prescribe or recommend physical activity, all in the effort of fat burning and mobilizing toxins, I would question that program, and I don't think I would put my money in it or waste my time with it. Then, during the 10-day actual program, we support phase 0, 1, 2, 3 of detoxification through the nutritional protocol and certain supplements that support the excretion of the toxins, as well as some supplements that are involved in phase 1, 2, or 3, or 0, 2 of the actual detoxification. But there's minimal supplements. So, because the goal is, of course, once we biotransform the toxins, to safely excrete them, again, as I said, through sweat, so through our skin, through breath, how about running, as an example, through our urine, as well as through daily stools. So that's very important. Daily poop, daily sweat, daily breathing. Just a few reminders, few hashtags that you can use when you share inside the group. And finally, when we finish the program after the 10-day, we're going to reassess to see what happened in 10 days of supporting our body's natural ability to detoxify, and then rinse, repeat. You can do this once you learn the protocol, and I should say is personalized. The caloric restriction, the level of caloric restriction we are doing is based on your unique resting energy expenditure. So you will have access to a calculator to help you assess your resting energy expenditure, and then from there I will help you calculate, actually with the help of the calculator, how many calories you will take in the first 6 days and then the next 4 days to support effectively this fat burning and mobilization of toxins. So it's not a general all fits all program. It's customizable to you. We have a private Facebook group for the program, so all the members that are doing live the program with me in October will again have their unique needs calculated. I will have a training in there on chronometer to help you then figure out the amounts of each of the foods that are allowed. I would say each of the foods that are encouraged to be consumed to support those phases of biotransformation. So you will be able to know exactly how many cups of broccoli to eat, or how many, I don't know, tablespoons of oil you can have, as an example. We begin the program on October 15. The first 7 days are all intended for you to assess, to get all the resources, and to begin to work on reducing the environmental exposure, to look if you need to address gut health before, then you will have to do that first before you will move forward. And then after the 7 days, for 10 days, we are going to do actually this part, the mobilization, biotransformation, excretion. If you're on any medication, any type of drugs, Whether it's for allergies, whether it's for blood pressure, diabetes, it does not matter. You have to talk with your medical doctor to get the release to do this and to monitor closely the parameters that are affected by the medication, because when you detoxify, you are going to clear out of your system in a more rapid way the medication, the drugs you're taking, therefore they will not be as effective. So you may end up with higher blood pressure, because instead of allowing the medication to be in your system for the intended time, it will be cleared away faster. So that's a requirement. So if you are on medication, if you want to do this, you have to get permission from your doctor. If you're not taking any medications, all you are doing are taking supplements, you can just stop taking your supplements and do the protocol and then resume. And what else? And then once you do it one time, you will see, based on your symptoms and on your needs, let's say you need to lose 50 more pounds, you can do this cycle of 10 days every month. And then you may do it every trimester or twice a year or once a year. Then you have a tool. So the beauty of this program is, number one, is science-based. So I took a course in detoxification to learn this particular protocol from Dr. Walsh, and I resonate with you. You know, I'm all about food and lifestyle therapy to heal the body. So previously I did run detox programs. The last time I did actually was in 2015, simply because I feel like it's so much misleading information when it comes to detoxification, and you know, do this 5-day juice or this tea and that whatever. So it was hard to find a program that was sound-based, science-based, makes sense, and it was based primarily on food and lifestyle. The programs that I ran before were formulated by the pharmaceutical supplement companies that formulate supplements for us healthcare practitioners, and they were effective by supporting phase 1 and 2, definitely. However, no focus on the other phases, the mobilization and the excretion of the toxins. So they were never as successful as I wanted them to be. That's why I stopped delivering a detox program since 2015. So now that I took this course and I understand how we can do the whole entire sequence, we can support our body through food and lifestyle and minimal supplementation, I love it. I embrace the program, so therefore I'm here to deliver to you a program that I learned, is based on science, and I feel confident to stand behind it. So if this resonates with you, I will love if you click below this video. In fact, if you made it all the way here, it's a long video. If you made it all the way here, that means you have an interest in detoxifying your body, in supporting your body to release toxins, to eliminate them, and to allow your body to heal in a more natural way through food and lifestyle. So therefore, if this resonates with you, click the button below and join the program. It's $97, 17 days support inside the private Facebook group with 4 group calls. So not only I will have video education programs, lessons inside the group, so you are empowered with knowledge, so you understand how you get toxic, how you limit exposure, environmental toxicity, and how your body does it, this biotransformation, and how you can support your body. Then it's so much easier to do it. So my number one priority is educating you, empowering you, raising your awareness, and then giving you the tools. So here is one tool you could use. So inside the group you will have more education that goes in a little bit more details to all of this, as well as we're gonna have 4 group calls. We have a kickoff start group call the Monday when we begin the program, October 15. Another call when we start the actual biotransformation after 7 days, right? So after the prep week. Then we have another call after first 6 days when we switch the dietary approach, and then one at the end of the 10 days. So it's 4 group calls to coach you through, to answer your questions, plus the live support inside the Facebook group, accountability. You would be asked, of course it's up to you if you do it or not, but you would be asked to post every day, this is my daily sweat, I've done my supplements, the more ways to keep you accountable we have, the more successful you're gonna be. Give it all you've got. 10 days. Anybody can do anything for 10 days. You can do this, and it's worth every second you spend, every penny you spend for your health. It's an investment in you. That's all. I thank you so much for watching this informational video. I would be very happy to receive you, to welcome you inside our private Facebook group, Safe, Smart, or Smart Safe Detox, and to support you along the way.